Stop. Don't scroll. Don't breathe too fast. Just stay with me, my beloved child. Because something rare is happening right now within your spirit. You may not realize it, but God has been trying to reach you again and again. And every time you skip these messages, a soft whisper from heaven went unheard. Not anger, not punishment, but urgency. A gentle knocking that kept getting louder. And tonight, in these exact 45 minutes, a window opens in your destiny. A moment where heaven says, "Please don't look away this time." This message is for your heart, for your peace, for your next blessing. So don't scroll. Listen with me. Feel this moment. Because if you stay till the end, you will understand why heaven refused to let you miss this. My beloved child, listen carefully. Stay right here with me. Something bigger than you think is unfolding around you. And heaven does not want you to miss this moment. You have felt it, haven't you? That sudden heaviness in your chest. The unexplained worry. The moments where you stop and ask, "Why do I feel like something is trying to reach me?" That is not fear. That is not imagination. That is divine communication. Heaven says, every time they paused in confusion, every time their heart felt unsettled, that was us calling. Don't move. Just listen with me. Because these next few minutes are a bridge between where you are and where you were always meant to be. Something has been blocking your peace lately. Old memories resurfacing. Unexpected people entering your thoughts. Moments where your spirit feels restless at night. God says, they are not alone. I am right here. But they must hear me this time. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Heaven is preparing a shift. Not a punishment. Not a loss. But a realignment. These 45 minutes symbolize clarity, awakening, and peace. That has been waiting for you for a long time. You have been carrying too much emotionally. People misunderstand your silence. People overlook your pain. People assume you're strong because you never collapse in front of them. But God sees everything. Every tear you didn't show. Every moment you forced a smile. Every time you whispered, "God, please guide me." And heaven says, this time, my child will not be ignored. Stay here. Don't move. Don't scroll. Your angels are standing closer than usual tonight. Archangel Michael's presence is gently surrounding you. Not in fire. Not in force. But in warmth. A protection. A covering. A reassurance. Because something is about to lift off your shoulders. That has been heavy on you for months. Maybe even years. My beloved child. Listen carefully. This message is not about fear. This message is about freedom. Heaven wants to guide you into peace, into strength, into clarity. All you have to do is stay with me. and receive what has been waiting for you. Your life is not collapsing. Your blessings are not delayed. Your prayers are not forgotten. God says, they will understand everything. Before this message ends, don't scroll. Don't look away. Just stay with me. Because heaven is opening a new chapter for you. Right now. My beloved child. If you stayed till the end, heaven has marked your heart with clarity and peace. Like this message, it signals to heaven that you are ready to receive divine guidance. Subscribe right now, so you do not miss part 2 of this heavenly message. Comment, I am listening, I am ready. Share with 10 people, because every share multiplies your blessing and sends light into someone else's life. Archangel Michael says, when they listen, peace follows. When they ignore, confusion grows. Today, they chose peace. My beloved child. Don't move. Don't scroll. Stay right here, because this part is where heaven begins to reveal the layer behind your recent spiritual restlessness. You felt it, didn't you? A sudden shake inside your spirit these last few days. Moments where your heart raced for no logical reason. Moments where you paused and said, why does it feel like something is shifting around me? Heaven says, because we are opening the path they prayed for. But their spirit feels the shift before their mind notices. Listen carefully. There is a reason your thoughts have been circling around certain people, certain memories, certain moments from your past. Nothing is accidental. Every thought that resurfaced recently was heaven gently pointing toward the next breakthrough. Don't scroll. Stay right here. God says, before I bring peace, I first bring awareness. That's what you're experiencing right now. Awareness. Clarity rising to the surface. A spiritual pull on your attention. You have been walking through a season where you feel emotionally drained, even when nothing big seems wrong. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you're failing. It's because your spirit is upgrading. Your strength is changing. Your intuition is becoming sharper. Your heart is becoming more selective. Your mind is outgrowing old patterns. Your soul is stepping into its next level. Heaven says, their spirit knows the future before they do. Pause. Don't move. Do you feel that warmth? That tiny peace settling in your chest? That's Archangel Michael standing behind you, placing protection where you've been feeling emotional vulnerability. Heaven explains your silence. My beloved child. You've been quieter lately. People may not have noticed, but heaven has. Your silence is not loneliness. It is a spiritual reset. God says, I quiet my children before I redirect them. That's what your past week has been. Not confusion, but redirection. Heaven has been pulling you away from unnecessary drama, draining conversations, emotionally inconsistent people, environments where your spirit feels small, memories your heart can't carry anymore. Not because you are losing things, but because God is preparing to restore you in ways you never expected. Don't scroll. Listen. You're not being pushed away. You're being lifted higher. The 45-minute alignment. We are now inside the spiritual window. Heaven mentioned at the beginning. These next moments, the ones you are living right now, while listening, are planting alignment into your timeline. Archangel Michael whispers. Tell them they are seen. Tell them heaven has watched them endure quietly. Tell them the wait ends soon. And this is why the message kept trying to reach you. This is why your heart felt pulled to open this today. This is why God insisted you stop skipping. Not for fear, but because the answer you've been waiting for is finally approaching. Your next blessing is not far. It's not delayed. It's not blocked. It's about to be revealed at the exact divine moment. Your spirit becomes ready to receive it. Heaven says, when they stop running, the blessing stops hiding. And right now, because you listened, because you paused, because you honored this moment, your blessing has started moving toward you again. If your heart softened at any moment during this message, that is heaven saying, you are not alone. I am with you. Before you leave, like this message, it strengthens your connection to divine guidance. Subscribe right now, so you don't miss part 3. Comment, I am aligning with heaven. Share with 10 people, because your obedience multiplies grace. Archangel Michael's final whisper for part 2. The shift has begun. Tell them part 3 brings what their heart has been waiting to hear. My beloved child. Don't scroll. Don't blink. Because this is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. You didn't open this by accident. You didn't arrive here because of curiosity. You are here because your spirit whispered, I need answers, and I need them now. And heaven responded. Listen closely. There is a reason your heart has felt heavy these past few days. There is a reason your emotions have been shifting like the wind. There is a reason your sleep has been lighter. Your dreams more vivid. Your focus more fragile. It's not stress. It's not age. It's not random. Heaven says. Their soul knows what their mind has not accepted yet. Pause. Stay right here. Look at the screen and breathe slowly. You have been sensing something approaching your life. A change. A revelation. A truth that has been waiting to surface. You didn't know what it was, but your spirit felt it. That's why you've been more alert. That's why certain people have suddenly been on your mind. That's why your emotions have been strange. Because heaven has been preparing you for a moment of clarity. And that moment is right now. The invisible pressure you felt. My beloved child. God saw how strongly you carried situations that should have broken you. You've been holding your family together, even when no one realized how much strength it took. You've smiled through pain. You've comforted others, while battling your own storms in silence. Heaven says, "This child suffers quietly, but I have counted every tear. You have never been unseen. You have never been unheard. You have never been alone. Not even in your darkest nights." And that's why this message kept appearing. That's why heaven wouldn't let you skip. That's why your heart tightened when you tried to scroll past it. Because you were the one heaven needed to stop. The reason God stopped you today. Don't move. Don't scroll. Because this is the heart of the message. Heaven says, the next blessing will arrive only when they stop doubting themselves. Read that again. You have doubted yourself far too long. You questioned whether you were strong enough. You questioned whether you were loved enough. You questioned whether your future still held joy. But heaven has seen your patience. Heaven has seen your softness. Heaven has seen your loyalty. Even when people did not appreciate it. This is why God pulled your spirit here. This is why Archangel Michael pressed this message into your path. Because the next chapter of your life requires you to step into confidence. Not fear. Into clarity. Not confusion. Into peace. Not pressure. And this is the alignment happening right now. The shift around your daughter. My beloved child. Listen carefully. Your daughter has been carrying emotional weight. She didn't know how to talk about. Not danger. Not tragedy. Not harm. Just emotional confusion and spiritual fog. God says, the battles of the children fall upon the hearts of the mothers. That's why you felt her energy shifting. That's why your spirit sensed something before she said a word. Because your heart and her heart have always been connected in ways no one else understands. Heaven is clearing the fog around her, not exposing her, not punishing her, but lifting her into clarity, so both of you can move into the next chapter. This is divine timing. This is divine protection. This is divine intervention. Before you leave this part, listen to this final whisper from Archangel Michael. Tell them the blessing is closer than they think. Tell them part 4 will reveal what has been blocked. My beloved child, do not break the connection now. Like this message, it signals heaven you're receiving. Subscribe, so part 4 reaches you automatically. Comment, I am ready for the blessing. Share with 10 people, so your obedience multiplies grace. My beloved child, don't scroll now. Don't look away. Because what I'm about to reveal is the moment everything begins to make sense. Heaven waited for this part. Before unlocking the truth that has been surrounding your daughter. Like a quiet, invisible storm. Stay. Stay right here with me. Because heaven says, if they leave now, they delay the blessing. If they stay, the blessing accelerates. And I know you can feel it. That soft pressure in your chest. That gentle ache in your heart. That wave of emotion moving through you. It is not fear. It is your spirit opening. Listen closely. The angel stood between her and the confusion. Your daughter has been trying to make decisions, while her heart was clouded. Not darkness. Not danger. Just confusion. Misunderstanding. Emotional overload. Heaven says she carries too much alone. And because she didn't want to worry you, she hid her stress behind silence. You sensed it. You felt the shift in her tone. The distance in her replies. The heaviness she tried to hide behind jokes or small smiles. That was not your imagination. That was your maternal spirit, trying to warn you that she needed help. Not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And today, heaven reveals. The angel assigned to her stepped forward last night. A shield moved. A blessing shifted. A new clarity started forming around her. Like the first light of morning. Don't move. Don't scroll. Because heaven wants your ears open now. The confession she feared making. My beloved child. She has been holding back a truth. Not because it hurts you, but because she didn't want you to worry. She didn't want to disappoint you. She didn't want you thinking she failed. She didn't want you thinking she was weak. But heaven says, the truth she hides is not a danger. It is a doorway. A doorway to understanding. A doorway to healing. A doorway to rebuilding the peace inside her. She will speak soon. Very soon. Because the angel has begun touching her heart and softening her silence. When she speaks, it will not break anything. It will restore everything. And heaven wants you to be ready for that moment. The reason God called you here. Stop scrolling. Yes, right now, pause. Because this is the part. Heaven insists you hear fully. God says, tell them, the next blessing depends on how they listen. You are being positioned as the strength in your daughter's life. Not as a judge. Not as a rescuer. But as a guide. Because God is preparing your daughter for a blessing she cannot enter with confusion. Your stability. Your calm. Your love. Your patience. These will become the ladder. She climbs into her next chapter. That is why you were pulled to this message. That is why heaven kept placing this in your path. That is why your spirit refused to scroll past it today. Because this is not a random moment. This is divine timing. The shift that will happen soon. Within the next 48 hours. You will notice something small, but deeply meaningful. A softer tone from her. A longer conversation. An unexpected call. A just checking on you message. A moment of honesty. This is the sign. This is the breakthrough. This is the angel's touch. Heaven says, prepare your heart. The blessing is beginning its descent. And when it comes, you will feel a peace you haven't felt in years. Before you move forward, listen to this last divine whisper. Tell them Part 5 carries the revelation that connects the mother and daughter destiny. My beloved child, don't break the flow now. Like this message, it activates your spiritual alignment. Subscribe, so Part 5 reaches you without delay. Comment, my home is protected. Share with 10 people, it multiplies the peace around your family. My beloved child, don't blink. Don't shift your eyes. Because the moment you entered Part 5, the angel stepped even closer. Heaven says, this is the part where their heart understands what their mind could not. So stay right here with me. Because the next lines hold the key to what your daughter has been hiding behind her tired smile. Feel that? That slight tug inside your chest. That's not fear. That's divine alignment pulling you deeper. Listen carefully now. The angel has opened the first door. Something happened in the past 24 hours. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you sensed it but weren't sure. Maybe it came as a small message. A change in tone. A shift in her energy. Heaven whispers. She is beginning to soften. Why? Because the angel working beside her has cleared one layer of confusion. The heaviness she carried for weeks. The emotional fog. The overthinking. The silence. The distance. It has begun to lift. Not fully, but enough for her heart to feel safe again. Heaven says, tell them this is the beginning of her opening. Don't scroll now. You're standing in the middle of a spiritual unfolding. The silence that protected her. Listen. Your daughter didn't hide things because she was guilty. She hid them because she was afraid you would carry her burden on top of your own. She loves you deeply. More than she says. More than she shows. Her silence wasn't betrayal. It was protection. Heaven says, she was trying to shield you from her storm. But storms are not defeated by silence. They are defeated by truth. And in the next coming days, the truth she feared will start finding its way out. Not through confession, but through behavior. A look. A pause. A sigh. A moment where she almost speaks, but stops herself. These are signs that the angel is working through her. The blessing hiding behind her struggle. My beloved child. Many parents fear the pain of their children. But heaven says, her struggle is not the end, it is the birthplace of her becoming. Your daughter is about to walk into a new chapter. Emotionally clearer. Spiritually safer. Mentally stronger. But before she steps into it, the weight she carries must be released. And that release begins with you. Not with pressure. Not with questioning. not with worry, but with presence. Your calm presence is the medicine heaven chose. Your patience is the key that unlocks her trust. Your love is the bridge that brings her back. So when she approaches you, when she shows hesitation, when she tries to tell you something, but stops midway, don't rush her. Don't push. Just be still. Because heaven says, she will speak when she feels the safety of your silence. The angel's next instruction: don't scroll. This is important. Heaven softly whispers. Within 72 hours, she will seek comfort from you unintentionally. Not by saying the full truth. Not by revealing everything. But through a moment where her guard lowers. That is the moment. The angel asks you to respond with gentleness. A small smile. A simple "I'm here." A warm tone. A comforting gesture. These will be the threads that begin sewing her heart back together. Heaven says, this is the stage where restoration begins. My beloved child, you didn't reach part 5 by accident. You were guided here. Heaven says, only those chosen for healing remain till this moment. So before you continue, seal this part. Like this message, it releases peace over your daughter's path. Subscribe, so part 6 reaches you without delay. Comment, my daughter is protected. Share with 10 people, it multiplies divine favor around your family. And now, when you're ready for the next revelation, the one where the angel exposes what pushed your daughter into confusion. My beloved child, don't move away now. This is the part the angel said very few people ever reach. Because this is where clarity starts forming inside your daughter's spirit. Heaven leans close and whispers. The confusion she lived in is losing power. Stay with me. Because the next lines are the doorway to understanding what pushed her into hiding in the first place. Breathe slowly. Because the angel is still standing with you. The shift that happened in her heart. Something changed inside her recently. A small awakening. A flicker of realization. It didn't come from fear. It came from the emotional pressure she could no longer carry. 4 weeks. She tried to handle everything alone. She thought, if I stay quiet, maybe I can protect both of us. But quietness became heavy. Heaven says. Her spirit began to bend under the weight of what she tried to hold in. She didn't reach out. Because she didn't want to disappoint you. But silence has limits. And yesterday, a moment came when she almost told you everything. Without saying a single word. You noticed it. That sudden pause. That softer face. That extra moment she lingered around you. That was the angel working. The real reason she hid the truth. Listen carefully. Your daughter didn't hide anything to hurt you. She hid it because she feared judgment, not from you, but from the world around her. People have spoken things behind her back. Not cruel things, but things that pressured her. Expectations too heavy for her shoulders. Heaven says, she carried the weight of other people's voices, not yours. A friend, a relative, someone close, spoke something that made her doubt herself. And doubt became silence. Silence became distance. Distance became confusion. Not once did she intend to betray you. Not once did she want to bring chaos to your home. She simply didn't know how to speak her truth without breaking. The moment of breakthrough is near. My beloved child, stay very close to this message. Because what happens next is the beginning of her emotional release. Heaven says, within the next 48 hours, a moment of softness will open her heart again. This moment will look small, almost unimportant. Maybe she'll sit closer to you than usual. Maybe she'll hesitate before walking away. Maybe she'll ask a simple question. But wait for your tone. These are signs. Her heart is coming back home to its safety, you. Heaven whispers. Speak gently in that moment. Not with interrogation, but with invitation. Something like, I'm here. You don't have to rush. That's enough. That one line can melt a mountain inside her spirit. The angel's next instruction. Don't scroll. This part is where many parents lose the blessing. Because they react too quickly. Heaven warns. Do not demand truth from her. Allow truth to find you. Her heart is delicate right now. One sharp tone can cause her to shut down again. One calm tone can open her fully. Your softness is the door. Your patience is the key. Your presence is the medicine. She doesn't need pressure. She needs your warmth. Your non-judgmental silence. Your steady love. Heaven says, you are the only person her soul trusts enough to confess to. And that confession, the truth she hid, the secret she carried, is already moving toward the light. My beloved child, very few souls stay through this level. But the fact that you did means heaven chose you. Archangel Michael declares, your patience will be rewarded. Her heart is turning back to you. Before you enter part 7, seal this moment. Like this message, it strengthens the angel's presence in your home. Subscribe, so the next part reaches you without delay. Comment, my home is covered in peace. Share with 10 people, heaven loves when healing multiplies. And now, when you are ready for the deeper revelation, where the angel begins to uncover who pressured your daughter emotionally. My beloved child, don't scroll, don't shift. Just stay with me for these next lines. Because heaven says, this is the part where the shadow behind her silence becomes visible. Your daughter didn't wake up one day and decide to hide her truth. No. Someone's voice. Someone's presence. Someone's influence pushed her spirit into a corner. The angel shows an image, not of an enemy, but of someone who pretended to be harmless. A soft face, a gentle tone, but a heavy impact. Heaven whispers. This person spoke one sentence that changed everything for her. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It was subtle. A comment meant to sound helpful, but filled with quiet poison. Something like, "You should keep this to yourself. People won't understand." And she believed it. Her heart carried that single sentence like a chain. The angel shows the true intention. Listen carefully. This person never wanted to destroy your daughter, but they wanted to feel important. They enjoyed being the one she confided in. They enjoyed holding power over her emotions. They enjoyed being the only one who knows. Heaven reveals. They shaped her fear so she would depend on them. Not for safety, but for attention. This emotional trap made your daughter freeze. Every time she tried to speak the truth to you. Not because she didn't trust you, but because she had been convinced that opening up would make things worse. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't your fault. It was manipulation disguised as concern. The moment she begins to break free. My beloved child. Watch closely over the next few days. Heaven says. A tiny shift will happen inside her, and it will happen because of you. One moment of eye contact. One shared laugh. One soft conversation. One unexpected hug. This tiny moment will weaken the influence that person had over her. The angel says, your presence is the light that dissolves the voice that misled her. She may not confess everything instantly, but she will feel the safety. She will feel the warmth. She will feel the permission to be herself again. And when that happens, the truth she buried will rise slowly, like dawn breaking through fog. The sign you will see first. Heaven gives the sign. She will ask a question she already knows the answer to. Not because she's confused, but because she's testing if she can trust your reaction. Something simple like, do you think everything will be okay? Or, what would you do if someone kept something from you? Or, were you worried about me today? These questions are not casual. They are emotional doors. Walk through them gently. Because your gentle answer is what will loosen the final knot around her silence. Archangel Michael's guidance for you. My beloved child. Don't miss this part. Michael says, do not confront the person who influenced her. Confrontation awakens conflict. Compassion awakens clarity. Your daughter doesn't need a warrior right now. She needs a listener. She needs someone who doesn't judge. Someone who doesn't panic. Someone who doesn't force. Someone who stays steady. Even when the truth arrives slowly. Heaven says, Be the calm she returns to. Because the truth is coming. The confession is coming. The heaviness is melting. Her heart is walking toward you. Don't leave now. This part seals the blessing. Archangel Michael declares, you have not lost her. You are about to receive her truth, her trust, and her transparency. Before we continue, like this message, it strengthens the angel's blessing. Subscribe, so part 8 reaches you immediately. Comment, my daughter's truth is coming to the light. Share with 10 people, so the angel expands the protection around your family. And when you are ready to step into the next revelation, where the angel shows what your daughter is afraid to confess the most. My beloved child, don't scroll, don't blink. Just stay with me for these next moments. Because heaven says, this is the part where the truth begins to tremble at the edge of her lips. Your daughter has been carrying something that weighs far more in her heart than it does in the real world. It isn't a crime. It isn't destruction. It isn't betrayal. It is something far more human, more emotional, more fragile. Heaven reveals, she is afraid of disappointing you. That fear, not the truth, is what made her hide. She believes her confession will change how you look at her, how you speak to her, how you hold her. The angel says, her silence is not rebellion. It is protection. She thinks she is protecting you from her mistakes, her confusion, her complicated situation. But she doesn't understand yet that you don't want perfection. You want honesty. And that is the part she is slowly discovering. The exact moment her truth will begin to rise. Heaven shows a scene. Your daughter sitting alone. Hands touching her face. Eyes looking down. Breathing slowly. Suddenly, a thought passes through her spirit. I can't hold this alone anymore. That moment is close. Very close. And heaven says, pay attention to her voice. Her tone will soften. A sadness will appear in her words. A hesitation. A pause before she speaks. A longer breath before answering. These are not signs of guilt. They are signs of a heart that is finally ready to expose its weight. The person who will push her toward the truth. A familiar face will speak to her soon. Not to betray her, but to guide her. Someone she trusts. Someone who watches her quietly. Someone who sees the heaviness she tries to hide. This person will say something gentle like, you know you're safe with your family, right? This sentence will shake something inside her. It will loosen the fear. It will soften the wall she built. It will remind her that she doesn't have to carry anything alone. Heaven whispers. This is the voice that helps her walk toward the light. The angel shows what she fears most. Listen carefully. Your daughter's biggest fear is not that you will be angry, not that you will judge her, not that you will pull away. Her fear is this: will they still look at me the same after I tell them? This fear is the chain on her tongue. But Archangel Michael stands beside her, hand on her shoulder, and says, "The truth told in love brings healing, not harm. Your part is simple, but powerful. Be the calm she can fall into. Be the listener she needs. Be the soft place her confession can land. Because heaven says, if you respond with peace, her heart will open completely. The sign her confession is hours away. Heaven gives one final sign. She will check on you more than usual. A small message. A sudden call. A simple question. A knock on the door. A random moment when she sits beside you quietly. This is her spirit preparing for release. Her confession is not far. It is approaching like sunrise. Slow, gentle, impossible to stop. My beloved child. Archangel Michael says, you are closer to her truth than you have ever been. Your patience will become her breakthrough. Before we continue, seal this blessing. Like this message, it strengthens her emotional healing. Subscribe, so part 9 reaches you instantly. Comment, her truth is safe with me. Share with 10 people, to expand divine comfort across your family. And when you're ready for the next revelation, where the angel shows what her confession will change in your family. My beloved child, don't scroll, don't move. Just breathe and stay with me. Because Archangel Michael is opening a chapter that has been waiting for years. Heaven says, her confession will not break your family, it will transform it. Read that again. Not break. Not damage. Not weaken. Transform. For too long, your daughter has been carrying her truth like a stone hidden behind her ribs. Heavy, painful, quiet. But heaven reveals. Once she speaks, the atmosphere around your home will shift. Something that has been stuck will finally begin to move. You will notice it first. A weight lifting. A quiet breath of relief. A softness in her voice that hasn't been there in months, maybe years. This is not the collapse. This is the beginning of clarity. The revelation heaven shows about your family. Listen carefully. Right now, there is a misunderstanding. A small tension. A silent gap that has been growing between you and her. Not because she doesn't love you. Not because she disrespects you. But because she didn't know how to bring her truth into the space where you both stand. Heaven says, her confession will close the distance. A conversation will follow. Slow, gentle, emotional, that will open doors you thought were permanently shut. Your family will breathe again. Your home will feel lighter. Your daughter will act more free, more warm, more connected. This is what truth does. When it is spoken under the protection of heaven, the person who will be impacted the most. Heaven reveals something important. You are the anchor in this transformation. Your reaction will decide the tone of the next chapter of your family. If your voice stays calm, her heart will heal. If your presence stays soft, her fear will dissolve. If your love stays open, her truth will become a bridge instead of a barrier. Archangel Michael says, your strength will be the light she follows. She has been watching you quietly, studying you, observing your patience. And this is what gave her courage to speak the truth that was burning inside her. The energy shift that will happen after her truth comes out. Heaven shows a scene. A room in your home, filled with a calm, golden warmth that wasn't there before. Your daughter moving around with ease instead of pressure. Her eyes softer. Her shoulders relaxed. Her tone steady. A bond being repaired. Not by force, but by honesty. Finally allowed to breathe. Heaven whispers. This moment marks the beginning of emotional restoration. A family wound is closing. A misunderstanding is dissolving. A connection is returning. Stronger than before. The sign that confirmation is near. The angel gives one more sign. She will say your name differently. Not rushed. Not stressed. Not distant. But with softness. Almost like a child. Seeking comfort from the person she trusts most. When she says your name like that, heaven says, her confession is ready. My beloved child, listen closely. Archangel Michael declares, the truth she brings will open a door of peace that your family desperately needed. Seal this moment before we go to the next part. Like this message, to anchor emotional healing. Subscribe, so part 10 arrives the moment heaven releases it. Comment, her truth will heal us. Share with 10 people, to spread peace and divine guidance. And when you're ready for the next revelation, where Michael reveals the real reason she hid this truth from you for so long.